Big playoff implications for both teams tonight. Saskatchewan needs a win to stay alive for a postseason berth in the West Conference, while Halifax finds themselves in a three-way race for fourth place in the East Conference. It's the Thunderbirds versus the Rush. Coming up next. Saskatoon, Saskatchewan on Treaty 6 territories. We're coming to you live from this evening. It's Cody Jansen, John Fraser, Sabina Maud inside SaskTel Center as the Saskatchewan Rush gets set to host the Halifax Thunderbirds in a must-win ball game. Everyone's got their eye on the standings. Saskatchewan, you have to win. Halifax, if you want to avoid that crossover race, you got to keep up with Georgia, and a win's definitely needed as we get into the standings.
Certainly, Cody. Not a great night for Thunderbirds fans as both the Toronto Rock and Georgia Swarm picking up victories earlier this evening, so Halifax needing a win to keep pace, and you alluded to it, must win. The Rush must go 3-0 to have a chance at the postseason, and that starts for them tonight.
If the T-Birds are going to be looking to one player tonight with a couple of guys out, it's Ryan Benesh, one of the greatest goal scorers we've seen in the NLL.
Certainly, and he's just been rewriting record books the last couple weeks. On the second against Georgia, he recorded assist number 700. He's just the 9th player to do that. The week before that, just casually topping 1,200 points, just the 7th person to do that. Week before that, his 250th regular season game. Only 13 others have done that. Oh, and before that, 5th player in NLL history to reach 500 goals scored. That puts him in exclusive company. Only 3 players in NLL history, Benesh, John Tavares, and John Grant Jr. have 500 goals, 700 assists, and 1,200 loose balls. That's good names to be associated with.
And if you're Saskatchewan, you're looking at Robert Church. He's been your best forward all year, and he's standing by with Sabina Mott.
Thanks so much, Cody. Rob, you scored 8 points last game. You're 2 goals away from hitting 300 for your career. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, nothing right now. I just want to get the win. We lose, we're done, so we got to win.
So let's get right into it. What's the mindset tonight heading into tonight's game?
Do or die. We got to leave everything on the line, and we kind of just have to get a win or our season's done. Simple as that.
Coach has talked a lot about positive mindset and heading into the game. You guys have been doing some really great things. What do you need to do tonight to get that win?
Yeah, we just got to work hard, get a good start. We've kind of been down in the last few games early, so let's get a good start and continue from there.
All right, thanks so much. Good luck.
Chips are on the table. It's must win. Saskatchewan, Halifax. Face-offs coming up next. The March to May on TSN is brought to you by Alterna Savings Credit Union. Visit alterna.ca to discover the credit union difference. By NLLstore.ca, a Fanatics experience, officially licensed everything. And by Guaranteed Rates. Now more than ever, you need the best. Let's take a look at tonight's referees in this contest. Mark Gardonio is going to be your crew chief. Rick Hulot, Blair Ferguson alongside him. And Marcus Fisher is on the shot clock this evening. And now time for tonight's starting goaltenders. Brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. For Halifax, King of the Hill, Warren Hill, looking for his 7th win on the season as a .769 save percentage and 11.45 goals against average this season. Gets a call between the pipes for a 2nd time against Saskatchewan, 3rd time in his career. And for Saskatchewan, it's Alex Bouquet, a .768 save percentage and 11.11 goals against average, hunting for his 7th win of the season as well. First time ever Halifax has been in SaskTel Center. Messenger, Withers on the face-off. Ref is ready, ball is down, and we are underway on Co-op Field. Jake Withers with the face-off with 77% coming into this game as he hands one off on the left-hand side of the floor. Saskatchewan are in their retro jerseys going right to left as Halifax will get that first look. Shot goes over the goal as Bouquet not tasked with the first save. Bouncer almost ended up behind him, but he was able to fall back on that one as Saskatchewan going right to left from our broadcast booth wearing their retro whites. Halifax going left to right in their purple.
You're going to notice the old Syracuse Smash-like jerseys. I love them tonight, Cody.
Ryan Keenan with the ball, hands it up to Robert Church. 8 points against Georgia last weekend for Robert Church. Ball goes down to Austin Madronic, the rookie from Harvard, defended by Tyson Bell, the former Roughneck. Call is upcoming, so Bouquet's to the bench at 6-on-5. Church to Matthews, down low for Dinsdale, and he's stopped by Warren Hill, who got over from left to right.
Cody, we're talking about our keys to the game on our own radio pregame show here in Saskatoon, and one of them was the Rush need to draw some penalties, get that power play out there early, get the momentum in their favor. That's exactly what they did. A ton of energy to start there.
Holding the stick is going to be the call on Colton Armstrong, and tight scratches for Halifax. Max Wilson and Eric Fennell are out for Saskatchewan. Reese Dutch and Mike Mallory not dressed in this contest. Rush power play goes to work. Matthews is up top. Church is on his left. That's who he hits. Fire, save made, rebound, scores. Pound your chest, Saskatchewan. Clark Walter draws first blood.
Better shot from a man with a great mustache. Just a great power play execution. The Rush recently have changed up the way they've been running their power play. Used to be Matthews sets up on top and just looks for somebody. Now a little bit of movement, and that's what creates this goal here. Matthews moves down, Church on top. A great left-hand side by Warren Hill, but Clark Walter, Johnny on the spot, buries that one, and the rookie's got his first, and oh so big for Saskatchewan in essentially an elimination game, getting on the board first in this one, Cody.
Oh, there's no essentially, John. It is an elimination game. Must win if you want to make the playoffs. Withers, another face-off, ends up in the stick of Graham Hosick. Minute 5 in, and Clark Walter has his 9th of the season. Cody Jamieson cycles up top. I'll run it far half wall. Clark Peterson, spin move. He's got a lot of fans in attendance here with a little Saskatoon connection. CP24 on goal. Easy save with the pass that ends up as a shot on Alex Bouquet.
Alex Bouquet and Eric Penny before this one had a real long conversation while the teams were singing the anthems, or post the anthem, sorry, Cody.
Robert Church drives and scores. Short side snipe for Robert Church, who's got 44 on the year.
He's only a couple away from a big milestone tonight, and this is going to go a long way in getting here. We were saying early on, Robert Church is going to be the focal point of the Saskatchewan offense, as he so often is. That's going to be his 44th of the season. Great swim move to get by his defender, blow by, and go short side on Warren Hill. Didn't really have a chance. That quick release from Church goes to the near post, puts it in a perfect spot. He misses either way. It's either off the iron or off Hill. He finds that spot in a big 2-0 lead here for Saskatchewan.
Well, he is hunting down goal number 300 in his career. And Sabina Mott asked him pregame, what does that mean to you? He said nothing. We're here to win games, not score goals. And so getting out to a 2-0 lead is played into their favor with 12:55 left to go in quarter number 1. Another face-off win by Withers means Halifax got an offensive look as Kyle Rubich causes another turnover.
I know we're only moments into this game, Cody, but this has been the best start Saskatchewan has had, at least at home, all season. They're full of energy. They got 2 goals in what is traditionally their worst quarter for goal scoring through the season.
Matthews hits Marty Dinsdale. Got back off of IR last weekend against Georgia. Now he says he feels like his legs are underneath him. Robert Church trying to fire. This one ends up wide. He's got 3 to put something on goal. Pass over to Walter. Push back, and he will get a bouncer off, but it's after the shot clock had expired.
Walter, the only option there, but going one-on-one with Graham Hosick, probably not going to result in the decision you want if you're a Clark Walter or a Rush fan.
Clark Peterson gets the offense going. They're Ryan Benesh, the veteran lefty, inside feed, intended for Theed, and it ends up on the turf where Mike Messenger wants to run. He's got Lintner off the bench. Dan Lintner to the net, and he scores! Dan Lintner's got 20 on the season, and Saskatchewan's up by a field goal.
Whatever they serve these guys for breakfast and lunch, do it again next week and the week after that. An electric start in SaskTel Center. Fans just getting to their seats, and a great heads-up play. Dan Lintner coming off the front gate with speed, gets himself open. Messenger heads up, finds him there, and picks the corner on Warren Hill. And Dan Lintner also getting in on the party. That's 20 on the year for him, Cody.
What a finish. Dan Lintner, nice response after being scratched last weekend against the Swarm. And that all starts with Mike Messenger after the caused turnover and loose ball. He says, I want to run with it, and he pushes the pace. Dan Littner with the finish. Halifax running it through Cody Jamieson now. Inside out, ball ends up getting popped. Kyle Rubish almost had it in his stick for a second. Peterson throws one up high. Bobby Kidd the third will defend, and Bouquet gets it with the chicken wing.
Great save, Alex Bouquet. Big for him to come up large in the first moments of the first quarter.
Dawson Keene, the U Sports hockey player, now a full-timer in the NLL. Banach feeds Thien right down the highway, and he's stopped by Bouquet.
Alex Bouquet in the first quarter has a .647 save percentage, .818 in the other 3 quarters of this game. I was starting to talk about it, but him and Eric Penny had a longer than normal conversation after the anthem when the lights came back on here. I wonder if he wasn't giving him a big pep talk, and it's worked.
Matthews hit Dinsdale out in front as Ryan Keenan goes and lowers the boom, and now Luke Magnan wants a word with him. Thunderbirds going back the other way. Bell sets the pick, and Bouquet makes the save.
That's one of those, Magnan going back on Keenan. They had a chance for an odd man rush here, but he was too preoccupied with Ryan Keenan to set that up.
Holden Garland will now stay in play. Ryan Keenan takes circle drive. Shot just misses. Pops back up for Clark Walter. A dozen to shoot. He'll spin around Magnan. Little swim move to the inside. On the run. Big save by Hill. Keenan now got the loose ball, but he takes a double team for that effort. In the corner, Dan Littner in to help as well. They're going to say loose ball push is called. Halifax gets the ball.
Saskatchewan's forwards compared to Halifax's are definitely behind them if you look at their total loose ball scoops. That to me is a sign of effort when you're watching a game like this. So nice to see Saskatchewan come out with a little bit more effort and grit than they have in other games so far, Cody.
Halifax averaging 86 loose balls per game. Pretty dang impressive right there. Stotts on the flip, inside and scores. Halifax is on the board as Bouquet gets beat on the 5th shot of the game.
A handful of cheers in SaskTel Center here for Clark Peterson, who of course has a Saskatoon connection. One of the few times we haven't seen a pure Saskatchewan crowd in this building. A lot of purple walking around, but just look at Stotts. The high effort play, the high skill play to go behind the back, knowing that Peterson had broken off his man in Ryan Dilks. As soon as Dilks jumps there, he goes to Peterson, and Peterson finds pay dirt behind Bouquet.
What a feed by Stotts right
so
there.
pretty.
Assist number 48 on the season. He leads Halifax, and CP24 is going to make no mistake there as he got free from Ryan Barnable and tucked one behind Bouquet. Messenger face off one, and he's got a 2-on-1. Over to McClellan, and it's in his boots.
Coming into this one, Cody, that was a big battle I was keeping my eyes on. Jake Withers, the Peterborough native, is a huge, it's just a beast on the faceoff. 77% through 14 games this season.
Shanks will settle it down. Thede, the big man, runs on Rubish. Thede wants to shoot around a defender. Bouquet makes a save, and Rubish has the loose ball.
Bouquet looks calm. He's not overreacting to shots. He's trusting his angles. He's had some great rebound control early on in this one.
Saskatchewan up 3-1. 9:01 left to go here in quarter number 1. Madronic's got to be careful as he's all sorts of tied up, and I think Bell might have just taken a penalty on him. Matthews holds it. Now Madronic's getting one, and Bell's going to go and grab his face mask. Mayhem ensues on the near side of the floor. Billy D. Smith is almost over top of the boards right now, losing his mind. Madronic now going to get an extra word in as Tyson Bell knows exactly what he does, and Madronic's going to follow as well. We'll sort it all out when we come back. Saskatchewan up 3-1 in SaskTel Center.
Welcome back here at SaskTel Center at Co-op Field. We've got the Rush leading Thunderbirds 3-1, and someone you're familiar with seeing back on the field is Marty Dinsdale with the Rush, who is back at home game, his first home game after his injury. He said he felt really bad having to sit on the sidelines watching his team lose and how they were doing in the past, but now it looks like they're coming out in full force, and Marty's back as well, and it's probably playing effect on him.
finals. Now Saskatchewan's got to win to get in. As we take a look at the penalties here that are being handed out. So Cody Jamieson got dinged with a tripping. Bell got a minor as well, which I would assume would be for a roughing. Maybe the face mask. Who knows what they're going to call this one. We haven't got the updated sheet yet. Maybe they will announce it here in a second. Then Madronic's got a 5-minute major.
Halifax, number 94, 2 minutes roughing. Halifax, number 88, 2 minutes tripping. 4-on-3, Halifax ball.
So Madronic, he takes a 5-minute major. The Rush will start on the power play, although they don't have the ball right now, defending 3v4. And then Halifax will get a man advantage in a couple of minutes' time.
Yeah, Austin Madronic, him and Tyson Bell were getting into it, and it was all good until...
Shot goes off the crossbar, rebound by D, misses as Banesh let a missile fly.
All good until he got a little too up and personal with Bell. They were pushing and shoving. Then he really wound up with a cross-check directly to the face. You knew that one was coming, so that's what started the melee, and that's why we're in the 4-on-3 situation right now, Cody.
Robert Church is up top. Rush power play, Littner and Keenan will play the crease side. Matthews down for Littner, wanted the quick stick. Pass was a little behind him. Matthews on the back pedal. Robert Church is there. Now he feeds him short side. Hill makes the save, and it drops between his legs.
Bad break for Robert Church. Is that one?
Banesh has a breakaway. Back the other way. Ryan Banesh scores. Short-handed. Benny cuts the lead in half.
Man with 500 goals, over 500 in his NLL career, is not going to miss with that kind of time and space. A great opportunity for the Rush that the spin of the ball just doesn't go their way, and he is wide open. Nobody around Banesh down the floor, and he's got all sorts of time to beat Alex Bouquet. Couple fakes. Bouquet thought he had him, but away we went.
And now Bouquet. Off a little gingerly on that leg right now, so I believe Eric Penny is getting ready to go in.
He's going to the room. Alex Bouquet is headed to the room with the trainer. Eric Penny, who's also had injury concerns, is coming on in here to the game. Eric Penny, him with a 13.48 goals against average, 701 save percentage on the season. I knew that Bouquet would have a short leash in this one, but that's bad news if your starting goalie's gotten hurt. Looks like this could be the Penny show from here on out, Cody. Hopefully Alex Bouquet's okay.
Well, Eric Penny wasn't the guy in Saskatchewan last year, but ended up picking up their biggest win of the season against Colorado here at home in overtime. Now he gets another time to shine as Jake Withers with another beautiful face-off win. Pops it up, and they're still shorthanded for the next 57 seconds. Dilks and McClellan will defend. Ryan Banesh with the ball. Saskatchewan jumped out to a 3-0 lead as Banesh an early look, trying to go 5-hole, save made by Penny.
If you're a goalie coming into a game cold, that's the kind of shot you want to see first. From distance, let you feel it, let you settle in just a little bit here. Good dream start for Eric Penny, seeing that one from far.
Church has Matthews up top, flips it for Keenan. He's got to climb a ladder to bring this one down. Rush still on the power play. Matthews lost it, 8 to shoot. Far side half wall, runs it inside. Robert Church had Hill dancing, and Littner pokes the loose ball back, but it's grabbed by Halifax. Erfenko heading the other way. Ball got popped free by Mark Matthews on the defensive stand.
The one-hander.
3-on-2. Church flips for Littner. Far side look, and it's wide.
Just missed on that far side after the crowd reacted to the one-hand turnover. Caused turnover by Mark Matthews playing some D.
So Saskatchewan won't score on that power play. Now 1-for-1 in the game, but they have to kill the next 2 minutes and 47 seconds as Austin Madronic sets in the sin bin. 5 to shoot. Church over to Keenan. Shot clock expiring. Shot goes wide.
Interesting here. Halifax consistently all game long, Cody, has almost had somebody up near the Rush restraining line cherry picking. So keep the Rush defenseman and transition team have to be aware of that.
It'll usually be Jamieson or Banesh as well. They'll run the power play up top. Clark Peterson's there. He's got one already. Peterson trying to go low. Shot got blocked by rush defender. Backdoor feed. Penny got over the side, took away, and now Dilks forces a turnover on Cody Jamieson. Rubish over to Matt Beers. Rush half numbers, holding Garland's by the net. Beers takes the shot himself. It goes wide, but it's called a bank pass. It ends up in Marty Dinsdale's stick. Rebound popped out eventually to Clark Walter, who got stopped. And here you go. Cody Jamieson's got a break, and he's robbed by Penny. Huge save by Eric Penny.
Not bad for a guy that just entered the game. Eric Penny, big shoulder save on the solo look from Jamieson.
Mike Messenger. The little cut inside. Now he thought about going one-on-one, trying to go 5-hole hill, and it's in! The hammer drives his way across the goal line, and Saskatchewan's back up by 2.
On retro night in Saskatchewan, that was a retro Mike Messenger goal. Drops the shoulder to his defender to create just a little bit of separation, and then squeaks it by Warren Hill. Those little rollers into Hill's gear haven't gone the Rush's way so far, but that one does. Stops a 2-goal run as you watch Messenger with the stiff arm on the defender. David Brock steps back, shoots it hard, and with some mustard behind it, Messenger's looking angry, and that's a good thing for the Rush tonight.
Well, Messenger said, hey, if Banesh can get a shorty, I can get one as well. And Saskatchewan back up by 2, but they're shorthanded for the next minute and 23 seconds. Cody Jamieson back up top. Seed and Banesh on his right-hand side. Jamieson, the back pedal, Shanks with the shot, and a great kick save by Eric Penny, and Saskatchewan's going to run again. Holden Garland, 2-on-1. Vito, the lone one back. Garland decides not to shoot, and wisely so. A veteran move in his 3rd season, decides, hey, probably more valuable to kill some time off the clock.
Oh, certainly, especially while you're shorthanded in this opportunity. 5-on-5, maybe I like to see him drive there, but shorthanded, pull it back, kill the 30.
Robert Church, 1-on-2, drives on Magnet, add a little bit of room, short side, but Warren Hill seals off that right post and makes a huge save for Halifax to keep it a 2-goal game as we head off to our next TV timeout here in SaskTel Center. Halifax on the power play, but the Rush are up by 2 on Co-op Field.
Alterna Savings Credit Union is proud to partner with the NLL. Visit alterna.ca to discover the credit union difference.
Halifax on the power play here in SaskTel Center. Coming into this game, they're 42% on the man advantage. Saskatchewan's penalty kill at 55%. Cody Jamieson will jog it up the floor here. Eric Penny between the pipes. Alex Bouquet left with an injury here early in quarter number 1. Banesh jogs it down. Jamieson at the restraining line. Shanks is on the side with Stotts. Jamieson now short side. Save made by Penny.
Since Bouquet left with that injury, Penny has been perfect. A couple of them, some high danger chances that he's taken away. And I keep looking down. Bouquet is still not back on the bench, Cody.
And just remember, Eric Penny just came off of IR as well. Layton Rushka has been the backup. So it's been weeks and almost a month since Eric Penny's last game here.
Do they have e-bugs in the NLL?
Kelly Taylor might ask. Ryan Keenan with it right now. Back to even strength. Keenan's on the run. Shot goes high and ends up in the stick of Tyson Bell.
You do wonder, especially with Eric Penny, as you mentioned, literally coming back onto the active roster from IR today. Hopefully he's fully healed, because that could be a lot of bad news for the Rush if he's still nicked up.
Stotts was driving, the net pass doesn't come his way. Now it's Thede near side, spins around Messenger, pass across the floor, and Stotts got tripped up by Jarrett Smith, and here it goes. Jarrett Smith's on the run. Barnable's with him, as is Church. Barnable backdoor feed for Church, spins inside on the fall, and what a kick by Warren Hill.
Kick, save, and a beauty by Warren Hill.
Clark Peterson now gets blown up. Mike Messenger lowers the boom.
He even knew he was coming. He was able to brace for it. Messenger goes shoulder to shoulder.
Boudreau back the other way, low to low, kicked out by Hill, and that's going to end up in row 1.
Jake Boudreau, one of the 9 rookies the Rush have played this year. As we get a second look here at Messenger doing Messenger things on Peterson.
Littner now on the roll to the middle. Robert Church trying to go far side this time, way wide. Mark Matthews Picks up the rebound off the loose ball. Swim move around Tarafanko. Has to peel back. Armstrong hits him with a slash. Lintner trying to cut inside. Peels around it. He rips one off the shoulder of Warren Hill, which ends up in row 4.
Back-to-back resets here for the Rush offense, already on a 2-goal run. They got him where they want him, if you would say it.
Up by 2 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in quarter number 1. Church has Lintner. Back for Matthews. Robert Church inside. Passes a little too hot to handle. And Halifax will head out west.
Rush playing inside a lot more than they have in previous games, Cody. That seems to have Halifax on their heels just a little bit.
Shanks and Stotts will play pass. McClelland and Dilks will defend. Stotts doesn't on the shot clock. Dilks with the switch, runs him into the boards. Stotts gets free though, couple of fakes, and it goes over the net.
Just great veteran and physical play from Randy Stotts. He gets piled into the boards by Ryan Dilks, bounces back off, and still gets an opportunity there.
Clark Walter peels his way to the middle, and he puts one in the logo of Hill. Magnan, the outlet pass. An interesting Manitoba connection here is Luke Magnan and Jarrett Smith, couple of Manitoba boys going head-to-head on Co-op Field. Clark Peterson now, defended by Boudreau, cross-checked out. Pass ends up over to Cody Jamieson. Jamieson now, inside feed. Bartle got back, and I think he got his stick just in the way as Shanks is trying to pull this out of the crease, and he will.
You mentioned the Manitoba products, both Manitoba Blizz products. Great to see the Rocky Mountain Lacrosse League being represented out here on the floor tonight. One of the best kept lacrosse secrets in Western Canada.
Magnan, a Blizz coach and a Griffins alumni, and now a penalty's going to be coming here. As I believe it was Bobby Kidd III who got a shot up high from Ryan Benesh this time.
He did. Benesh and Kidd III were engaged. They were going back and forth, and this one slips up a little high.
Oh, yeah. Halifax penalty number 17, 2 minutes, illegal cross check.
Pretty cut and dry on that one, Cody. Not a ton of ill intent behind it, but we do get a look at it here. He's engaged. He just gets him up at the ear hole. Easy call. Your stick touches head. Arm goes up.
46% is the Rush power play. Matthews, 5 full attempts, stopped by Hill. And Halifax wants to run. It's Jake Withers on a breakaway. Withers, the Wizard, stopped by Penny. Eric Penny, lights out.
The hardest thing to do as a goalie, and you and I are both former tenders, is to come into a game cold like Eric Penny had to. He has been unbeatable so far. He has not been beat by any of the shots since coming in.
Matthews up top on the power play. Church on his left, Keenan on his right. The back pedal. Matthews wants to shoot, got deflected, ends up behind the net. 5 seconds left, and Hossack's going to run this clock out here. Saskatchewan, one of their better first halves. I think you count that save for Penny. I'll throw that one in there.
Give him another one.
Saskatchewan, a huge first half. Doubling up Halifax, 4-2. Eric Penny is your man between the pipes. We're back with the second quarter after the break. Robert Church and Mike Messenger, both with a goal and assist in that opening quarter. As you can look at Jimmy Quinlan on the bench. Saskatchewan needs to win out to make playoffs. Halifax battling for their playoff lives as well. Eric Penny's between the pipes as you see Withers and Messenger have a little laugh at the dot. Those two battling it out. Messenger having one of his better face-off seasons at 58%, but Withers that much better at 77% this year.
And so far, 6 out of 7 on the evening tonight. That's just what you expected of the Peterborough product, Jake Withers. You brought it up, Cody. The best first quarter I think the Rush have played, at least in front of my eyeballs here in Saskatoon. Heading into the game that they had only scored 37 goals in the first quarter across all the rest of the games. They got 4 tonight. Meanwhile, Halifax, their best defensive quarter, That was also the first. So it's almost bizarro land where the Rush finally start hot and Halifax starts a little slow. That's leading to the 4-2 margin starting the second quarter.
Shots are 14-12 in favor of Halifax in that opening quarter. Eric Penny stopped all 6 shots he faced. Hosick gets it after the face-off as Halifax on the penalty kill for the next 65 seconds and change. Dawson Thing, he'll walk it around up top. U Sports hockey player. Gonna be a powerhouse, that size and strength. The lefty forward can clear out space and he can rip the biscuit too. Outside look by Peterson got stopped by Penny and he'll outlet to Kyle Rubin.
Should mention too, the training staff is back on the Rush bench and Alex Bouquet is not a good sign. The Rush look like they've got only Eric Penny betwixt the pipes for the rest of this one.
Lower body injury is what we're told for Alex Bouquet. Keenan up top, different look on the power play here. Matthews walks it in. Church has some space behind the net. Dunk attempt! And oh boy, a good look for Dan Lintner won't drop.
Real good look. Almost wonder if that net doesn't move, if that isn't behind Warren Hill, but too tough to tell as that was a bang-bang play. Lintner went through the air like he so often does, and then the net came off as Hill tried to make the stop.
Back to even strength. Saskatchewan's power play is now 1 for 3 in the game. Banesh out of the box, ripped one, won't drop, but it goes out of place. They got a fresh 30 clock to work with as Bo Hunter hands it to Thiem. He'll send a pick. Beers comes out to defend. Now Messengers ran around and he scores. Spin and snipe. Dawson Thiem has his first of the game.
Just like Dwight Schrute in the office pulling off the spin move, heading towards the net. Just a big athletic play, a big man, hard to stop there, 6'3", 206 pounds, and look at the finesse, sees Messenger come at him, just spins off him like he's not even there. Woo, little spinorama for the hockey fans, goes low to high on Eric Penny, and Penny is beaten for the first time since coming in, and like, that's not a shot that anybody's stopping, just a great shot in open space for Thiem.
5th of the year for Dawson Thiem, and there you can see his hands aren't only for chucking nucks. He can find the back of the net as well, and Halifax down by 1. Tarafanko battling with Jarrett Smith now for the loose ball, and Jake Withers comes in and bullies his teammate into an extra LBS. Hosick hands it down for Cody Jamieson. Ryan Banesh is off the bench. Inside, Stotts, wrong side of the road. Shot goes wide. It's going to bounce up. Clark Peterson pokes this one forward, and he got it back. CP24 takes some air, and he's stopped by Penny.
Great save by Eric Penny. I love the awareness there by Peterson. Just keep that ball moving towards him. That's what gave him the open opportunity. Spring up to his feet and get in and get a great look on Eric Penny.
Marty Dinsdale rocking the white gloves tonight. Over to Ryan Keenan. Clark Walter pushes his defender back, and Austin Madronic out of the sin bin. Well rested after getting 5 minutes by himself. Madronic switches hands, tries to bounce this one, but it goes off the glass, and Halifax will get to run it.
Trevor Smith with a couple aggressive chops there on Austin Madronic. All legal, but you can tell Madronic, he's been a thorn in a lot of teams' side. He seems to draw a lot of reaction whenever he's on the floor.
It's Stotts towards the middle. Bouncer on goal. Penny with the save. And he's going to throw an outlet pass for Matt Beers, but it got picked off. Thiem got back. He got it. Now Bobby Kidd III comes in with a shoulder. Just misses Thiem, but he forces a turnover.
Great interception by Thiem. That was a 2-on-1 for the Rush if he doesn't break that up.
Beers for Matthew. Garland room to shoot, and he scores. Holden Garland finds the back of the net for his 4th of the season.
Earlier, he had a chance to drive towards the net shorthanded. He stepped back, he took a moment, the third-year man, and went, okay, I'm gonna kill some time. Even strength, that's when you go, and that's what Holden Garland does. He sees his opportunity here. Little bit of space created by Matt Beers pushing the pace. Garland up top, he's largely ignored as both Halifax defenders had rightfully so gone towards Mark Matthews, and Garland is just standing there open, and he's got enough offensive skill. If you give him a look like that, he's gonna bury, and he's all smiles in this one.
You've got 3 Halifax defenders staring in the eyes of Mark Matthews as he makes that feed like only the mailman does. And Holden Garlett rips one behind Warren Hill.
I mean, he's a good-looking guy. I can see why you'd be staring him in the eyes, right?
Ryan Banesh as Jamieson comes in to set the pick on Rubish. Shanks an inside feed. He was playing jackpot with 2 teammates, and Saskatchewan comes down with it. BK3 has the outlet. Boudreau slows it down. Saskatchewan wearing their retro jerseys. A little Syracuse slash throwback.
And that's so good. I love that old logo. One of the best retro logos in pro sports.
Matthews, far side, save made by Hill, and he pops the rebound behind him after it hit him in the stick.
One almost took a rush bounce and went back towards the net off of Hill's foot.
Tyson Bell opts not to give it to Theed. Instead, he waits for Randy Stotts. Theed, one-on-one with Messenger. Feed goes down to Shanks. Hard pick set on Dilks. Shanks with the shot goes low to high, and that goes off of Penny and finds someone at about row 11.
I'm not sure if that touched Penny or if that was just a whiff off of a good stick check.
Messenger will defend Theed. It's about 500 pounds of man on that ice cell. On the run, Peterson trying to go across the body, bounces this one wide. It's in front of Halifax's bench. Shanks with it. Shanks now inside feet, knocked down by Ryan Dilks. None finer in the D zone at knocking down passes. And here goes Matt Beers again, wants to push it up in offense. Keenan slows it down in the corner. Madronic's off the bench. Walter's the 5th forward. Clark Walter opened the scoring in the game. Matthews now, wrong side of the road, got that shot off on Hill, who made the save, and Saskatchewan, well, they probably got away as Jake Withers was wanting a breakaway pass from Warren Hill, but we're at our TV timeout here in Saskatoon Center. Holden Garland has the latest. Rush lead by 2.
Get game day ready and shop your favorite team's jerseys and merchandise. Head to nllstore.ca to get all of your National Lacrosse League and team gear today.
Thanks, Sabine. Saskatchewan Rush up 5-3 on the Halifax Thunderbirds in a must-win game for the Rush and a probably need-to-win game standings-wise for the T-Birds, and both teams have given their best punches so far in this one. Cody Jansen.
Thunderbirds down by 2. Clark Peterson up top. A lot of CP24 jerseys in attendance here with the Saskatoon connection. Randy Stotts around Bierce. Back for Cody Jamieson. Backpedal pass. Send it again to Banesh. Banesh now on the backhand. Bouncer on goal, and he's stopped by Eric Penny.
Yeah, definitely a Halifax representation in the stands tonight.
Messenger looking for his second. Got around Bell, and I think Hill got a piece of it.
We were on the concourse pregame. We saw Nova Scotia flags everywhere. We saw a ton of purple even looking up here from the gondola at SaskTel Center. The fan base travels well. Kudos to the T-Birds.
Shanks inside. Banesh trying to go low on Eric Penny, and the Ladner Pioneer Summer Ballers connect, and Penny gets the better of Banesh. Here goes Ryan Dilks, the swordsman. Not about staying and playing. Bobby Kidd III will cause a little bit of mayhem, and now the O experts get out on the floor. Matthews, 17 to shoot, has Keenan and Walter as the other lefties. Robert Church now inside feed, intended for Dinsdale, got booted into the corner. Somehow Clark Walter comes out of that cleanly though. Spin outside, 3 to shoot. Matthews now throws one on goal, easy save by Hill.
Clark Walter in his first few games almost looked like a pure shooter. He's been doing so well with that, but tonight, a little bit more confidence in the young man's step, a little bit more athletic plays, deeps, shoulder fakes, head fakes, things like that.
Near side, Barnable and Boudreau will defend. 2 rookie defenders for Saskatchewan. On Stotts as he'll drive, tries to go high on Eric Penny with a nice shoulder save. And now Jarrett Smith, little side step to the inside, and Jarrett Smith has a breakaway. Oh, lone stomp by Hill.
The Winnipeg Jet gets robbed by Hill. Great step there. I was going to mention too, Cody, Smith, Boudreau, Barnable, 9 rookies used by the Rush this year.
Feed back the other way, looking for his second. Stopped by Penny.
Most rookies the Rush have used since 2012, as I've stole that stat from you.
Bobby Kidd the third. Down for Mark Matthews. Keenan's up there as well. Clark Walter, the rookie, sitting on 9 goals this season. Ryan Keenan down for Mark Matthews, second in team scoring, only behind Robert Church. Madronic trying to pull it short side. Won't go. He got it back. One to shoot, and it's off the outside of the net.
That one did go off the post, so the Rush get the reset on an innocent-looking shot. Big break here for the Rush. That one going up and out.
I think he almost got Warren Hill sleeping. Ryan Keenan, penalty upcoming here as Dan Lintner took a hard shot up high, and now it gets blown down. Roughing will be the call. I believe it's going to be on Smith as well.
Smith is not happy. He heads to the box. I think he wanted a retaliation penalty on Dan Lintner.
Halifax number 68, 2 minutes roughing.
Just a little too violent with Dan Lintner, who likes going towards the net in a foul mood. And once again, he goes to take him on, just takes a shot right in the face, punch to the face, if you will. And pretty simple, you can't do that. I know Smith was asking for them to look at the replay. Replay's pretty cut and dry on that one there, Trevor.
Yeah, that'll get you a penalty or a foul in most major professional leagues that aren't called UFC. Ryan Keenan down for Clark Walter. Matthews back up top on this power play. Lintner's going to play the left crease. Church, feed over to Keenan, and he wasn't ready for it. 18 to get reset here. Matthews, the big man, on the lefty strong power play. Down for Lintner, quick stick goes wide. Still have plenty of time here as Matthews down for Walter, and Hill got over right to left to make the save. Shot clock gets reset as the Rusher on the power play. Robert Church defended by Tyson Bell. Gets it back. He's sitting on goal 299 of his career. Robert Church now walks in. He's got Hill dancing, and he puts it right in his stomach. And the outlet goes to Withers. Jake Withers, second breakaway of the game. This time he's stopped by Penny once again.
Even short-handed, the Halifax Thunderbirds always have somebody near the timeline. You got to keep your head on a swivel for that Thunderbird counterattack.
Robert Church will slow it down. They're going to go to a righty strong look here as Dinsdale pops out for the power play. Matthews now passes behind him. Keenan will set the pick in the middle. Dinsdale now trying to go glove side. He's in a foot race now with Tyson Bell. Tyson Bell's got another breakaway here. Bell all alone, stopped by Penny once again.
Short-handed, the Thunderbirds are go. They've got the gas pedal pressed.
Robert Church trying to go quick on the power play. Bounces this one all the way back to David Brock.
As both goalies have been telling teams, all right, just cool it down here. I need a breather.
And that's Warren Hill doing that too. This team just had 2 breakaways that Eric Penny had to be up to the task for. Stotts is there, Shanks and Jarrett Smith battle it out in front of him. Bo Hunter now on the run. The Jacksonville product got stopped by Penny.
Bo Hunter was looking a little shaken up earlier today. Ran into him at the team hotel, but appears to be healthy. He's showing no ill effects.
Back to even strength. Saskatchewan's power play now 1 for 4. Matthews on the run. Bouncer on goal. Hill makes the save, and he got to the rebound before Robert Church could. Outlet feed. Graham Hossack inside. Clark Peterson robbed by Penny.
I'm going to say that this might have been a blessing in disguise, Alex Bouquet stepping out on this one, because Penny's strength is against those one-on-one opportunities and breakaways.
And now we got a little rough stuff in front of Saskatchewan's bench as Jake Withers having a word with Matt Beers. I think the gloves are going to stay on. I don't think Withers wants any of that at this moment in the game, but Saskatchewan back the other way. McClellan, Keenan inside for Church, and he won't get the quick stick to go.
What happened there, Cody, was Withers and Mark Matthews, I believe, got tied up behind the play. The two of them were exchanging pleasantries, and Mark Matthews knocked him on his rear end, and he wasn't happy with that at all.
Understandable. Seed power move to the net. Stopped by Penny.
Penny's looking like you're out with your buddies playing lacrosse in your driveway, some of the saves he's making. He's been unbelievable since coming in for an injured Alex Bouquet.
It's been the backup to Alex Bouquet this season, as Saskatchewan gets their forwards on the floor. Robert Church runs around Hossack to the net and he scores! Goal number 300 for Bobby and Saskatchewan, up by a trio.
Bobby betwixt the pantaloons for the 300th goal of his career and restores Saskatchewan's 3-goal lead, brings SaskTel Center to their feet. You cannot give Robert Church time and space or he's going to make you pay, just like he has 299 other times. Sees a bit of a broken play, a good pick there set by Marty Dinsdale, pushes off 2 Halifax defenders to get him open, and he goes between the legs of Warren Hill for number 300. Congrats, Robert Church.
A double pick set by Marty Dinsdale on that one.
That was so good.
Bell got free at the last second, but his attempt to take off Robert Church's head didn't work, and Robert Church, what a milestone for Bobby, who's been leading the team all season. Now up to 45 on the year, just 2 off his career high set back in 2018 when the Halifax Thunderbirds were the Rochester Nighthawks in Saskatchewan. Well, I don't need to tell you the rest of the story. It worked out good for the team in Greece.
That was an all right year. Robert Church, the 3rd most famous Church behind Eric and Ryan Church, for the record.
Warren Hill with the save on Kyle Rubish, who jumped up, and now Hill tries to throw a Hail Mary to Clark Peterson. Bobby Kidd III gets back, and he's got the loose ball.
Great recognition by Bobby Kidd III. He knew that was coming. He knew the intended receiver was Peterson. He stayed with him step for step. He came flying like he was shot out of a cannon out of that back gate.
Marty Dinsdale brought back this offseason. The guys say he does the little things we like, and that's why he's here again in Saskatchewan.
You could absolutely see it on that replay of Robert Church's 300th. Boom, boom, double pick, springing his man Bobby open.
Halifax loves to play in speed. The issue is their transition has been shut down by Eric Penny so far this game. Here goes 3 through the net, and he's robbed by the big man between the pipes.
Why not do it again? Just another great breakaway save by Eric Penny, and he's making him look easy.
The Mimico alumni is standing on his head. Rush lead by 3 in SaskTel Center.
Remember to follow the NLL on all of our social media channels for highlights and behind-the-scenes content. And we're now on TikTok. Follow us at NLL_official.
How many of those Eric Penny saves do you think are going to be on the NLL's social feeds tonight, Cody Jansen?
I mean, he's putting himself together a pretty dang good highlight pack so far. But there's a lot of lacrosse left, and everyone knows the Halifax Thunderbirds, they can put the ball in the back of the net. The 3rd highest scoring team in the NLL this season, averaging almost 13 goals per game. Robert Church has the ball, though, and he's on hat-trick watch. Less than 2 to play in the opening half. Matthews for Church, down to Clark Walter. Walter now powers his way through Hossack. The Limestone kid stays on his feet, and now a call's coming. And I would have to assume it's on Dan Lintner as Tyson Bell takes a tumble.
That's exactly what it is. Tyson Bell is great at getting under guys' skin. He's also a great defender. This time he gets Lintner to cross the line, and with his team down 3, that dangerous offense with so many weapons about to go to the power play here to cut the lead down in the dying minutes of the
41, 2 minutes, illegal cross check.
Illegal cross-check is the call. Halifax's power play, 42% coming into this game. Saskatchewan's penalty kill at 55%. But the T-Birds 0 for 1 so far in this contest. Stotts has Peterson up top. Banesh and Jameson are on his right. Shanks will play the low righty position by the crease. Banesh on the run over to Peterson. Shot almost picks off Jameson, who was lurking behind the net. They got it back with 10 to shoot though. Banesh jogs it in. Dilks and Garland are up top on the rush penalty kill. Shot comes, got deflected. Penny with the save as Rubish. The shot clock should have got reset, and now it will, as Holden Garland has to avoid an over and back, but now he's got a 2-on-1. Walter back for Garland inside. He got a twister off, but I do think he stepped in the crease beforehand.
He did. Crease violation on him right before he let that one away.
Minute to go here in quarter number 2. T-Birds down by 3 on the power play again. Stotts, Jamieson, 5-hole scores. Cody Jamieson when Halifax needs one.
Not surprising. His 20th of the year. Cody Jamieson, I mentioned so many dangerous weapons on this Halifax power play. Who do you stop? That's the decision that this Rush team had to make. Cody Jamieson finds himself open after the young guy Boudreau, bit of an overcommit, going for the loose ball, trying to take it away. That allows Jamieson some time and space to get behind Kyle Rubish, and coming across the floor, recognize he was open, and with that kind of time and space and a step on Rubish, Jamieson's not going to miss from up close like that.
4th shot on goal of the game. First goal for Cody Jamieson, as Messenger and Withers do battle one more time at the dot. Withers, the Ohio State alumni. No glove drama in the NLL either. Withers on the fall, backhand goes wide. Messenger has it, and then he throws it up as Boudreau collides with Jamieson, but he's going to settle it down, and now Saskatchewan's going to get a timeout in.
Veteran maneuver by Cody Jamieson there. There wasn't a way, the angle he had on Jake Boudreau, I don't think there was a way you could have hit him and hit him clean. His head was down, tucked in a little bit, so Jamieson just gets in his way, disrupts his speed. You don't always need to lay the big check, especially when a guy's vulnerable like that, so I like that move. It accomplished the goal, and he's not off to the sin bin.
Well, coming up here at the Guaranteed Rate, halftime highlights and analysis, and our feature H, just a number. So we're seeing here on the floor tonight, and we'll get to your out-of-town scoreboard as well. Of course, must-win territory for Saskatchewan. Halifax, well, they're avoiding that territory by about a thread, I would say, in the East.
No, certainly. It is must-win for Saskatchewan. If Saskatchewan does not win tonight, they're out of it. But Halifax, especially with Georgia winning earlier this evening, Cody, they really need a victory to keep pace with them as Georgia moves to 8 wins. Halifax at 7 on the floor right now.
So they'll throw 27 seconds up on the clock and 25 on the shot clock. Eric Penny is not going to stay on the bench, so it'll play 5-on-5 here. As for Saskatchewan, you're up by 2. You don't want to risk the empty netter, but you also have an opportunity to go 6-on-5. There's probably a serious conversation to be had between Jimmy Quinlan and Cam Sedgwick, but they forgot more about lacrosse than I know, so I trust their opinions here.
Certainly, but Penny is going to go now.
Oh, he faked you out.
He faked us all out. Everybody thought Eric was going. He goes for like the half sprint towards the bench and now back between his posts.
Matthews walks across the restraining line. 5 to shoot. Church, Walter rips one, and it got off a body in front as Tyson Bell scoops it up, and time's going to expire. Eric Penny's going to make one more save, and Saskatchewan, despite being outshot 32 to 23, lead 6-4. Eric Penny has been absolutely phenomenal for Saskatchewan in this one, and the offensive production's been there too. You got 2 goals and 1 assist from Robert Church. Matthews with a couple of assists, Messenger a goal and an assist, and they're all doing this despite Jake Withers' excellence at the dot for Halifax.
You think of a guy's 9 for 10 on the face-offs and a half, that his team, and that's kind of reflected in the shot count, 32 to 23. You said it best, Cody. Eric Penny comes in cold off of the bench after Alex Bouquet gets hurt, and he's been unstoppable. But now down on the floor, Sabine with head coach Jimmy Quinlan of the Saskatchewan Rush.
Coach Quinlan, you talked about the team needing a positive mindset, coming out hard. What was the message to the team before tonight's game with such an electric start?
Well, I think in life and in sports and lacrosse, your opportunities are created through hard work, and so that was it. It was simple. I mean, keep the game simple and be the harder working team. And I think we've done that, and I think we got to continue doing that.
Do you have an update on Bouquet at all?
Not really, no. I think they're trying to assess him to see if he can come back, but Penny's given us some good minutes, so we'll run with him the rest of the way.
Thanks so much.
Good minutes is a nice way to put it by Eric Penny as the Rush are getting outshot 32-23 in this one. Rush up 6-4. Your Guaranteed Rate halftime report is coming up next from the SaskTel Center. Back to the Guaranteed Rate halftime report. It's Cody Jans and John Fraser Speed Amon with you in SaskTel Center. Let's take a look around the NLL. Yesterday, Colorado beat San Diego 15-14 in the Loud House. Calgary beat Vegas 12-7. Tonight, Toronto tops Philly 12-7. Georgia hammers Albany 15-6. Buffalo took them overtime, but they beat New York 11-10, and going on right now in the first quarter, Panther City up 4-2 on the Vancouver Warriors. 6-4. Saskatchewan leads the Halifax Thunderbirds. A very back and forth first half of play. So let's get to some of the highlights here. As Saskatchewan out to a hot start, you jump out to that 3-0 lead, and then Halifax, as you expect, they claw away.
Well, one of the top goal-scoring teams in the entire NLL, Banesh, and then an old-school goal by Mike Messenger. Shoves his man off. Feed, the spin move, just the quality of goals, too, we're seeing. You're going to see right here in this highlights, every one of them a highlight reel. Big shot there, and then Robert Church on the double pick by Marty Dinsdale. Goal number 300 in his career, but Cody Jamieson still keeping a game in this. Just a 2-goal lead for the hometown team while getting outshot by the Halifax Thunderbirds in this one.
Yeah, and winning in the face-off battle as well, too.
That's
Jake Withers has
effect.
been phenomenal. The Ohio State product, 11-1 against Messenger and Bobby Kidd III. Saskatchewan winning the loose ball battle, 38-35. But we got more of the Guaranteed Rate halftime report coming up next. Saskatchewan up 6-4 on Halifax.
Welcome back to the Guaranteed Rate halftime report. The National Lacrosse League has an influx of young stars who aim to take the league by storm for years to come. But for every new crop of talent, there are ageless veterans who continue to leave their mark on the game. To continue to play into their 30s and even 40s takes dedication to both their minds and bodies. So we asked them, what's their secret?
It's my 17th season.
Merrill, game on his stick, scores!
11 years, 12 years.
There's a shot from Jamieson and he scores.
This is number 14 for me.
Rose got it, Shanks!
I believe it's 17 years, yeah.
Evans, one hand on the stick, scores! Oh, my goodness!
Kind of lose track, but I think it's 17.
Paul Dawson, the scoop, the shot, and the goal!
22nd season.
What a career mark for Dan Dawson.
The secret is there isn't really a secret, right? I think it's just basics. Getting good sleep, eating right, working out on a consistent basis. It's these kind of basic principles that you try to be consistent with over a long period of time.
I'm doing the ice bath. I don't like the ice bath, but I know in order to keep going, I need to do the ice bath. So that's my big one this year.
For me, it's just making sure that I'm stressing my body every day in some sort of way, right? The moment you stop letting your body be stressed is when it becomes relaxed, and then there's injuries that can happen.
Yoga, obviously, and for me, my long limbs, it's like I need to work on my mobility at 41.
A big thing for me is off-season training and just staying healthy and take pride in kind of the off-floor stuff of working out and being in shape.
I would eat pasta game day, and then now it's like all quinoas, grilled vegetables, fruits, like just everything from the earth, right? You always try to give yourself a competitive advantage, regardless of if it's year 1 or year 20.
I try and stay on top of like everything social media, so I'm not like a hey boomer or whatever, but there's still some times where you're just like, yeah, I don't get it.
They are dinosaurs.
Okay, Cleve?
It's when guys have kids. That's wild to me because I feel like a kid myself.
In training camp, I kind of had a nagging injury that was popping up. One of our team doctors asked, when did this injury first happen? It was 2003, and Jake Gubbett, who's a rookie at our team, I think his birth year might have been 2000 or 2001. I could see him doing the math in his head, and I had an injury almost as old as one of our rookies.
It's a roller coaster. It's a full circle. For me, when I started being 18 years old, joining the NLL, and right now I'm in that veteran leadership role, and I'm just hoping the younger guys can learn off of me.
I love saying my age. I love saying that I've been in the league for 22 years. At 41, hopefully you can inspire someone to say, hey, you can play in this league for 20 years if you want, if you live your life the right way.
Next Saturday, the TSN Game of the Week heads to Halifax as the Thunderbirds host Jeff Teat and the Riptide. Don't miss any of the action here on TSN.
Saskatchewan up 6-4 on the Halifax Thunderbirds. Eric Penny, phenomenal between the pipes so far for Saskatchewan in this contest. Made 22 saves. He's allowed 2 goals after Alex Bouquet left with what appears to be a lower body injury in that opening quarter. Back to the stripe. Messenger, Withers do battle one more time, and Withers has a dozen face-off wins on the evening. Halifax with the ball. Outshot Saskatchewan in that opening quarter by 9. Feed for Cody Jamieson. Has Halifax's 4th of the night. Pushed back by Bobby Kidd III. Ryan Badesh slow to get up on the floor. Stotts grinds his way towards the net, and Eric Penny scoops it up calmly.
A little slow going back is Benesh. I'll keep an eye on that here. He's talking with the trainers right now. Doesn't appear headed to the dressing room, though. That's good news for Halifax.
Well, Marty Dinsdale almost to pull a loose ball off on the doorstep, and Halifax's defense converges around him. We'll see if Benesh gets back on the floor here. He's getting looked at by training staff on the bench, so they'll run Feed out the O-gates. Feed pushed back by Dilks. One-arm scoop for Cody Jamieson. Defended by Ryan Dilks. Jamieson on the run. Rubish trying to cause a turnover. Shot bounces wide, and Connor McClellan now punches it down to the ground where he'll stand over it, and Clark Peterson gives him a whack or two.
Fun Kyle Rubish fact for you here, Cody. He's over 100 loose balls in every season of his career, minus the one that was cut short due to COVID. He's well over 100 again this year.
Dinsdale inside Feed. Robert Church misses the net.
Church with his 300th career goal tonight, one of his 2 he's got on the evening.
Stotts holds on to it. Halifax going left to right from our broadcast booth, wearing their purple jerseys. Saskatchewan right to left in their wedding whites. 10 on the shot clock. Benesh back on the floor, and he scores. Ryan Benesh cuts the lead in half.
Whatever the training staff gave him to feel better, it sure worked. Benesh limps off the floor last time, a little banged up, a little hobbled, gets a look at, and comes back on and unleashes a great shot. The old low to low goes betwixt the legs of Eric Penny, and Benesh has done that so many times in his career. Speaking of milestones, he's a guy that's hit about just every single one that a player can. Ryan Benesh cuts it down to 1 goal with his 27th of the year, Cody.
Well, he doesn't have any assists in this one, but also keep an eye that maybe the rest of the season here, he needs 9 more assists to pass Sean Williams for 8th on the all-time list with 709.
That's good, right?
Pretty dang good. Sean Williams obviously coaching in Vegas nowadays. The Desert Dogs lost to Calgary last night. Their playoff hopes have been gone. Saskatchewan fighting for theirs this evening. Halifax back in possession. Ball out front for Clark Peterson. He ended up getting stripped, and Bobby Kidd III will take a jog. Connor McClellan has to peel his way back. Clark Walter and Austin Madronic, the rookies, are off the bench. Robert Church on hat-trick watch, stopped by Hill.
You mentioned the playoff implications here, Cody. It's simple for the Rush tonight. They lose, they're done. No more March to May for them. Halifax needing to keep pace with Georgia, who won earlier today as well.
Warren Hill now up to 18 saves in this game. Thied, the former U Sports hockey player, stripped of the ball, and Mike Messenger wants to run up on it. Messenger's already got one shorthanded. Church is out in front, and he can't beat Hill. But they're going to say he cut to the crease and first a touch, so they'll give Halifax possession.
Church was all alone in front there. Heads up play by Messenger to find him. He was unmarked, but couldn't get it past Warren Hill.
Stotts on an island with Dilks. Now McClellan comes out and he blocks the shot. Rubish, another loose ball.
Waiting to see if the intensity ramps up here again. Near the end of our first half, both teams were getting chippy. Lots of extra shots, lots of extra lumber on both sides. But a calm start to this one so far, Cody.
Keenan, defended. Madronic as Lintner. Back to Keenan. Walter tries to set a pick. Bodies flying all over the place as Keenan rips one off the shoulder of Hill and out of play.
Almost right on cue. As I said, this was a calm start. Next thing you know, you got Bell, you got Dinsdale, everybody on their rear ends right in front of that Halifax Thunderbird net.
Walter thought about driving on Pearson. Decides not. Dinsdale back for Walter. Around Tarafanko to the net, and it's off the post.
Great save there, or at least forcing it off the post by Warren Hill. Goes to his knees and slides along with Clark Walter.
Shanks up the floors. Halifax has numbers. Hard pick set, and that's probably going to be a penalty. If that's not a clipping or a tripping, I don't know what is. Yeah. But Graham Hossack, he'll plead his case. Might need a better lawyer to get out of this one.
And I don't see any lawyers on the Thunderbirds roster.
Yeah, that's...
2 minutes. Trip.
That's a minor penalty, but that could result in a major injury if you catch someone by the knee. We've seen enough knees and ACLs go.
Certainly, that one pretty cut and dry, going down low on Matt Beers. The hip check allowed in hockey, not allowed in lacrosse there. So the rush back to the power play, Cody.
Matthews up top on this power play. Church and Lintner are on his left. Keenan and Walter are on the right. Walter now short side, scores! The sneaky slider, and Clark Walter has his second of the game.
Love the play by Clark Walter. He sold to everybody that he was passing, even us up here. He took a solid look at Mark Matthews up top, locks eye contact with him, and then snap bang! He goes right between the legs of Warren Hill. He's looking, now I'm gonna shoot. Had room betwixt the legs, and he takes advantage. Another great play by the rookie. Had all of us fooled. Even Hill, you look at the late reaction on Warren Hill, a top goalie in the league. He's dropping late. He was sold. The great sell job by Clark Walter, and the rush up 2 again.
Double digits for the Limestone product in Saskatchewan. He earned himself a job. Saskatchewan traded away Marshall Powless, their former first-round pick, because of how valuable Walter's been to this team and how versatile he can be on the floor. And now he's got his second of the game.
Jamison not happy with one of our officials as his stick ended up on the floor.
Stotts pushed back by Dilks as he sends his stick for a ride, and here goes the captain. All alone, Ryan Dilks outside, misses.
And that's the kind of year it's been offensively for Ryan Dilks. I know, talking to him a couple times, he wishes he'd buried a couple more, a little bit more for the point totals, but just a flat miss there by Ryan Dilks.
Stotts and Boudreau getting into it in front of the net as Stotts throws Boudreau down, and here's Messenger on the spin over to Garland looking for his second, and he's stopped by Hill.
Garland then, after the loose ball and getting brought down to the ground by Bell, he didn't like it as Bell with a bit of a late shot, but it's what happens when you're going after a loosie that the goalie's close to.
Peterson drives down on Jarrett Smith. Peterson, the flip back. Has to push back his teammate. Now he's going to run it from that left half wall. Around Smith to the net, and he scores. Defender on him like a backpack. And Clark Peterson beats Eric Penny.
Peterson was not being stopped on that shift. He was up against the rookie Smith, a man he gives up a few inches to in height, and he just doesn't give up. Tries to drive a couple times. The step back fake. Smith all over him, and Peterson finds some space and beats Eric Penny to the far side. That just, Smith had his stick in there. He was grabbing, he was holding. Either Peterson was scoring or Smith was going to the sin bin. And the man with a few fans of the stands tonight here with his Saskatoon connections, he's got 2 tonight, Cody.
CP24's got his 24th of the season, as Withers flips one up for Tyson Bell. Down to a 1-goal game here in SaskTel Center. Rush Thunderbirds. It's a must-win for the team in green. Peterson inside, bouncer by Stotts, goes off the pipe, and the rebound stopped by Penny. He's got Beneshes as well.
Penny thanking his posts on that one, or we were close to being even. We've got a penalty coming up to Halifax here too, Cody.
Dinsdale slows it down. Benny to the bench. Church, Matthews, 6-on-5 look, 10 on the shot clock. Matthews now, room to shoot, but he walks himself down. Dinsdale through the middle, huge save by Hill with that right foot.
Big save by Warren Hill, had him going the other way. Dinsdale had space, but Hill's foot got in the way.
Saskatchewan up 7-6, but they are going to the power play when we come back.
There we see Alex Bouquet, who started this game, now in what he showed up to the game wearing and a boot on his right foot. I would say he's officially out for this one with a lower body injury, Cody. Not sure what that is as we get a good look at the boot, but Eric Penny has stepped in the rest of the way.
Rush back on the power play. Matthews for Lintner. Lintner looking to shoot, trying to go low. Hill, he thought it might have dropped behind him as he rolls back, but he keeps it above the line. And so Graham Hosick can start the penalty kill again for Halifax. Austin Shanks, 12 goals on the season. Shanks gets around Messenger. 15 to shoot, probably happy to kill some clock. Cody Jamieson down for Randy Stotts. 3 assists in the game, fadeaway shot. Well, touch them all, Joe. That one goes way out of play.
Just looking through here, Cody, on the goaltender rules, I don't see anything in the NLL rule book saying that they could bring in Lane Rushka, who's on the practice roster, and now on the bench in his 90s attire, his Canadian tuxedo, running the door as Alex Bouquet is done for the night.
Matthews up top on this power play. Down for Dinsdale, back over to Walter, looking for his 3rd goal of the game. He's got 2 on the power play already, and he can't connect on a quick stick.
Clark Walter's been having a game, like I said earlier, looking a lot more confident in his own skin. First few games, he was scoring goals just by being Johnny on the spot and unleashing that deadly shot of his. But tonight, a lot more creativity, a lot more head fakes, a lot more confidence for the rookie for the Rush.
Dawson Feed pushed back by Rubish. Rubish got a stick on him. Now the ball's on the turf, and Messenger gonna get pushed in. Him and Theed are having some words here. Looks like cooler heads are going to prevail. Messenger's got to be careful not to take a penalty as Rubish steps into him as well. You got to run through the gauntlet to get to your bench tonight. That's what type of game it's been here. Rush on the power play for the next 10 seconds. Matthews steps down over to Church. Defender on him in Hosick, and he can't shoot. Matthews intended for Walter. Bounces to Keenan over to Church. Quick stick, scores! Throw those hats, Bobby, big time. Puts Saskatchewan up by 2.
Great quick stick by Robert Church. The ball movement with just a couple seconds left on the shot clock. The Rush start flinging it around like they're practicing outdoors and finally get it to Bobby Church, who catches Warren Hill moving, and just a snap quick release there by Robert Church. Open for a second, goes to the far side, all in one motion. And all of this, I think the T-Birds thought the shot was coming from the lefties on that side, as there was only 2 seconds left on the shot clock when Bobby Church got that one away, Cody. And again, this back and forth, absolute great battle continues, and the lead is 2 once again.
Robert Church, one off of his career high total for goals. He had 47 back in 2018 when Saskatchewan beat the Rochester/Halifax Nighthawks/Thunderbirds in the final. On the run, Shanks is stopped by Penny, and Barnable buzzes around on one. Lintner off the bench. As Garland with him, Barnable fires and scores! Ryan Barnable runs it in from Whitby and blasts one off the post and in. Saskatchewan's got 9.
The Rush rookies have come to play tonight. Barnable, one of those 9 rookies we were talking about through this game. He comes in, goes for a run. He was wide open for a moment, finds his spot, steps up, and just picks the corner. That's the kind of skill you'd be used to seeing out of a guy like Robert Church, but the young man, Barnable, his 4th of the season, picks a corner over Warren Hill. Just a great play.
Grab the radar cut. Ryan Barnable just put all 175 pounds of himself into that one.
You look at that, the seeing eye shot, and his ability to step in. I'd love to know how fast that ball was moving, Cody.
An absolute cannon by the 2-time NCAA champion.
And ho-hum, just another face-off win by Withers.
Tarafanko scoops up the loose ball. Stotts back up top. Saskatchewan's leads back up to 3. T-Birds averaging just under 13 goals a game this season. Banash over to Peterson. Stopped by Penny. Shot clock gets reset for Stotts. Boudreau getting into it with Peterson out in front. Banash now backpedal. Bouncer goes wide, and this one's going to pop fly into the air. Put on your baseball glove. Connor McClellan has a freebie.
No infield fly rule or fair catch rules in the NLL, as bodies were still all congregating under that ball, ready to whack and smash whoever came down with it.
Matthews now 5-hole. Warren Hill got a piece of it. Dinsdale now out in front. Keenan's robbed by Hill. What a save. King of the Hill with a clutch one to keep Saskatchewan out of double-digit territory. But the Rush lead by 3. Ryan Barnable has the latest in SaskTel Center.
Get ready for the ultimate showdown as the March to May begins. With intense matchups and playoff pushes, you won't want to miss a single moment of the excitement. Tune in and watch as teams begin their March to May now.
I dare say the May may already be here in terms of the way this game has gone, Cody. Big playoff implications on both sides. A playoff-like atmosphere at SaskTel Center, and both teams stepping up with their best punches in this one. It's been great, Cody.
Jameson finds Banesh, and now we see if Halifax's veterans can urge them to a road come from behind win. Thie to the middle, trying to go high on Penny, who scoops it up off the back glass.
Well, you know for sure Halifax has the talent, the veteran experience, and winning every faceoff is going to help when you're in the middle of a comeback effort like they are right now. Sorry, Withers lost 1. I correct myself.
Matthews and Walter get a 2-man game going, and now a penalty's coming up on Matthews as Withers got Matthews up high, but I think Clark Walter got his defender, Tarafanko, up there too. I would assume they're just taking one based on the way Clark Walter has the walk of shame going.
Yeah, you could have picked either one of them. Sticks both getting up a little high.
Saskatchewan number 9, 2 minutes, here we go cross check.
Yeah, you could have picked 9 or 42 on that one, as Walter trying to set the pick for Matthews. His stick slips up high. Matthews getting a little upset, doing much the same. It is Walter, the mustachioed one, coming in with the hard pick that goes up high. Pretty cut and dry there. It was a little cut off, but I can tell you from being in here, it was a penalty.
Stotts now at the back pedal. Peterson's up top. Banesh with the shot. Penny makes the save, and it's stopped behind him here as he gets some help from his defender.
I think that went off of Rubish, then Penny, hence the confusion of where that ball had gone. Penny signaling.
Well, they had Cody Jameson hanging out up top there. And so that's why he was saying, hey, I need a D guy back here ASAP as possible. Dinsdale down for Madronic, 10 to shoot. Dumps it out in the corner, kills a little bit of clock here, and Halifax will run it through Tyson Bell.
Well, you know Halifax, the way they run their offense, the second you stop paying attention, the second you go to sleep a little bit, they've got a guy waiting for the breakout.
Quick stick attempt, stopped by Penny as he goes left to right to Rob Shanks.
And if you're just joining us now late in this one, Alex Bouquet did get the start, left the game with a lower body injury, and Penny has been lights out since then. taking over for Alex Bouquet as my computer refreshes right as I want to talk about it. As Eric Penny now, 29 saves, only 4 goals against.
Jake Boudreau, the Brampton boy, killing some clock. Down inside, intended for Connor McClelland. And Saskatchewan getting about 90 seconds so far off of this penalty to Clark Walter. Halifax's power play 1 for 2 so far in the contest. Banesh down for Jamieson. Peterson's up top again. Flip it to Stotts, trying to go low on Penny, who calmly makes the save, and the rebound falls to Matt Beers. Outlet for Holden Garlett. Saskatchewan gets Clark Walter out of jail in about 8 seconds time, so I think they're happy to hold on to it.
Yeah, they look like they wanted to push it, but a good heads-up play, double-checking the retro-looking score clock here at SaskTel Center tonight, as it is retro night.
Matthews flip inside for Walter. He had a backpack on him wearing purple.
He thought he was sneaking in. He thought nobody noticed him, but about 3 Halifax defenders caught it for the quick little play. Good job by them. Good awareness by them to pick up Clark Walter out of the box.
Bo Hunter finds Bennett. Skip feed over to Stotts. A dozen to shoot. Boudreau will defend. Stotts is pushed back, trying to go one-on-one with Barnable. Outside look, good defense by Barnable, doesn't give him a lane. Now feed down for Banesh, short side as the shot clock's expiring. And Eric Penny with another big kick.
Already now you're seeing Halifax start to push it a little bit, trying to force either the 8-second violations or a turnover as the Rush take possession of their own end.
Keenan on the run, taking Idlewild, stopped by Hill, who falls back on it.
Great save by Hill, got about 98% of it to get a stick on top of that. That was a dangerous looking opportunity.
Austin Shanks now. Less than a minute to play in quarter number 3. Shanks on Dilks. Dilks pushes him back. Got his feed right at him again. 7 to shoot. Dilks, the cross check down low, and Shanks loses it as he gets rubbed into the turf.
Oh, and then he gives Ryan Dilks a shot to the chops as well, as the two of them have a little bit of a wrestling match behind Eric Penny. And again, the playoff-like feel of this one continues, Cody.
Well, it's all in gamesmanship right now. Everyone knows what's on the line here. Clark Walter hands it for Mark Matthews. About a 7-second differential, shot and game clock. Dinsdale pulls it back. Over to Matthews now. Walter's inside. Matthews, now he feeds it over to Dinsdale. Quick stick got stopped. Dinsdale's got it behind the crease, and they'll say he cut through.
That gives Halifax one last opportunity here before it's fourth quarter time. They're going to sprint it down the floor.
5 on the clock. Theed spins around to the net. Stopped by Penny. Rebound for Banesh, and he's robbed again as Theed decides to go and jump on a Rush player down there.
Well, Theed got tied up with Matt Beers, and there were shots exchanged again. The two of them went to the floor. I'm not sure what set it off. Pardon me, that's Mike Messenger. You said earlier, that's about 500 pounds of man going toe-to-toe. Those are probably the only two guys who want the smoke from each other. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to see it.
Not exactly sure exactly what Cody Jamieson's complaining about, but the two of them will head off as Theed and Messenger go and enjoy spots in the sin bin by themselves. Saskatchewan up 9-6 as we head into quarter number 4.
The Halifax Thunderbirds are back in the nest Saturday, April 22nd, as they take on the New York Riptide. Get your tickets now at halifaxthunderbirds.com/ticketatlantic.
And don't forget, here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, it's the Rush taking on the Colorado Mammoth 1 week from today. And if the Rush win tonight, if they can hold on here in this fourth quarter, Cody Jansen, that'll be another must-win playoff-like atmosphere at SaskTel Center. It's a great time of the year for lacrosse.
Well, we know the Rush and Mammoth it's impossible for them not to play 1-goal games, and for the most part, they go to overtime as well. So, yeah, I think if you put playoff implications into it, that could be a game of the year.
And with the rivalry betwixt the two clubs, you know Colorado is going to absolutely bring it with a chance to end Saskatchewan season. Again, they still got to get through the next 15 minutes where they have a 3-goal lead. Let's see where that goes, Cody.
Messenger in the box, so Bobby Kidd III steps out on face-offs. Halifax and Saskatchewan. Call coming. Withers with the ball. Jamieson up top for Stotts. Halifax will go 6-on-5 here. Shanks now down to Stotts. A dozen to shoot. Shanks on the back pedal. Jamieson's got room. Down for Stotts. Trying to go low on Penny. Save made. And BK3 touches up.
Exactly what Halifax is going to want here. Drawing a holding call in the first 30 seconds of the fourth quarter. Down by 3.
Saskatchewan penalty, 2 minutes. Hold.
Bobby Kidd III, the guilty party. Some boos coming from the Rush faithful, but again, an obvious one, at least from our vantage point, as we got to see the body move as the young BK3. Tons of up-and-coming talent, but still going to make those rookie mistakes from time to time. Gets the handoff of his stick, pins his man up against the boards, gets it on his face. Automatic call on that one.
Stotts and Panesh back and forth. Save made by Penny.
And the rear end of Matt Beers.
Panesh walks it towards the middle and those purple kicks. Shanks now near side. Feed over to Panesh and he's robbed! Eric Penny goes right to left. Stotts now. Peterson back for Panesh. Over to Stotts. Down low intended for Jamieson. Rubish got his stick in the way. Halifax settles it down. Jamieson jogs up top. Pass back down for Stotts. Jamieson in the middle, won't shoot. Now, shot got blocked by Beers, and it pops out to Panesh, who buries one on the power play.
That one is the ultimate Halifax bounce. Beers gets 75% of it, trying to reduce his busy goaltender's workload a little bit, but it goes off his midsection, hangs in the air for just a moment. And you think Ryan Panesh is going to miss in a spot like that? Absolutely not. Good shot block attempt by Beers. Bad result for the Rush. Great result for people wanting a great fourth quarter. And if you're a Halifax fan, I know it's a little late, way out on the East Coast, but little lacrosse after dark doesn't hurt anybody as they cut the lead down to 2 on the Johnny-on-the-spot goal for Ryan Panesh.
And since Rochester, well, since the Nighthawks left Rochester, the original Nighthawks, I know that's confusing if you're a new NLL fan, but Halifax and Saskatchewan have played twice in Halifax. They've both gone to overtime. So no surprise we're getting a close one here. Bo Hunter, defended by Barnable. Bo Hunter trying to drive, taken down to the ground, and Bobby Kidd III has the scoop.
Barnable just 5'10" against the 6'2" Bo Hunter. Comes up big, though.
Keenan tries a twister, and Hill throws one up for Hossack. Clark Peterson off the bench. Garland quickly out on him, and that's the key. You have to have that reverse transition against a team like Halifax. Peterson to Shanks. They'll run it over the SaskTel logo. Peterson now, no lane to shoot. Panesh thought about going for a backhand, but Dilks causes a turnover. Holden Garland now as Matthews off the bench. Garland over to Matthews, quick stick low. Hill's got it as it rolls back to his left foot.
The two-pad stack by Warren Hill. You don't see it a bunch in lacrosse. Comes up big in that moment there.
Brock now over to Stotts. Save made by Penny. He's got the rebound as well.
Eric Penny just continues to be the story of this
one. And the outlet for Matthews. Mark Matthews, the mailman, put it in the box. No mistake. Saskatchewan's got double digits.
Eric Penny can stop him, and apparently he can dish him too. Penny with a great second chance opportunity save. Finds Mark Matthews in transition, and the whole squad's coming over to give Penny some love for this air-mailed pass to the mailman, who's doing the receiving instead of the dishing on this one. Matthews wide open, gets a step on his defender, and he's not gonna miss from there, going top corner where Grandma keeps the good stuff, as you would say, Cody Jansen.
It's a veteran play by Eric Penny, who's seen his fair share of NLL games. The shift before, Garland and Matthews had a 2-on-1. And so Penny sees that and he goes, well, next time I'm just going to throw one up and Matthews is going to run up on it. Exactly what happens. And 42 doesn't make too many mistakes in that position.
And takes about 3 strides with his giant frame to get in position out the front gate.
Shanks throws one for Panesh. Bo Hunter getting a couple extra shifts here out the old gate. Shanks now winds, and it's a left-hand save for Penny.
Eric Penny, the story of the night. Again, Alex Bouquet started but left with a lower body injury. Since then, he's been absolutely lights out as he's come in, only given up 5 goals on 42 shots from Halifax.
Matthews now over to Robert Church. He's got a hat trick already. Takes that shot, went off the back of a defender. Won't be backing over, as they're going to say it went off of a Halifax player. Penny, he's going to throw this one, and it won't be a shot on goal. But he takes a little extra bump.
As Trevor Smith giving a little shot to Penny as he airmailed it with the shot clock nearing expiration.
I don't mind that. It's all part of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Stotts now. Hard pick set on Garland. Peterson's all alone, and he scores. Clark Peterson cross-checks Garland to the ground, gets himself open, and he beats Penny to make it 10-8.
I just saw 3 Nova Scotia flags into the crowd after that one. Peterson having himself a great game so far. One of the younger members of this Halifax crew, as he again gets open and just uses like a great athletic play. He bounces off his man there, spins off that, creates his own pick, brings down Garland to the ground, creates his own space. He's got the hat trick. He's got 25 on the year in front of a handful of friends and family, as you could tell if you're listening to the crowd reaction on that one, Cody Jansen.
Withers now wallpapered by Bobby Kind III, who tosses him to the ground. The stronger of the 2 men win that battle as BK3 goes and tosses Jake Withers as he goes off for a change, and he has a word with one of the officials nearby. Cody Jamieson, defended by BK3. Pushed back to the logo. Cody Jamieson now runs down the middle and he scores. Top shelf on Eric Penny. Cody Jamieson makes it a 1-goal game.
Jamieson goes upstairs, but there's a conversation still being had here as Theed had his helmet knocked clean off by Kyle Rubish. You see there on the replay, he's putting his helmet back on and instantly starts going towards the official there. Cody Jamieson, the veteran, just blowing by Bobby Kidd III on that one. But Halifax, even though they're scoring, not happy at all with the fact that Theed's bucket was on the turf here at SaskTel Center.
Well, and that's the issue that got talked about before the season is, hey, if we want to make calls every time someone's helmet comes off, wear them properly. Put your chin strap on properly. Because if that's not done up, you can't trust it. Hosick off the face-off. Down for Shanks. Halifax on a run here. Shanks now pushed back by McClelland. Over to Cody Jamieson, the most recent goal scorer for Halifax. Stotts, an inside look, shot, got deflected. 7 on the shot clock. Jamieson's got to run up on it. Dilks is there as well. And they're just going to stand on the ball as Halifax retreats here with 9:54 left to go in quarter number 4. I think they're going to blow this one in. Yeah, it's definitely time for a TV timeout. I didn't know if they were paying attention. I guess they are. Saskatchewan up 10-9. Halifax is on a run. Cody Jamieson has the latest.
Welcome back. Saskatchewan leads Halifax 10-9. And the story of this game has been the 2 goalies. You see on the right, Alex Bouquet out of this game with a lower body injury in his street clothes. On the left, Eric Penny came in for him after just 7 minutes of play and has since seen 46 shots, only getting beaten 7 times.
Robert Church with the ball. Hosick's all over him. Church down for Walter. Spins towards the net. Back up for Matthews. Keenan now Plenty of time on the shot clock here, but the Rush are going with a little bit of speed. Pass intended for Church, and he got it back behind Bell, trying to go 5-hole on Hill, who boots it to the corner.
That was the only angle he had there. Cody, I mentioned that faceoffs are going to be huge in a potential Halifax comeback. Still only one faceoff win this game out of 23 attempts for the Rush. Jake Withers, the Peterborough product, has been an absolute stud on the dot.
The Wiz. Pass got picked off by Garland, and he's going to send Messenger up the floor. Messenger thought about going for it. Now he's going to. The Hammer wants to drive. Couple of fakes. Stopped by Hill, and it goes out of play.
Great opportunity there by Mike Messenger. Warren Hill up to the task. Normally when you see Messenger drive like that, it's just a straight shot. Couple fakes, went for the twister there. Hill gets it with the knob of his stick.
Austin Medtronic now on the run. Shot goes over the net, and Hill looking for an outlet.
Didn't have one there. He had a guy open for a second. It was Pearson coming off the bench, but he was quickly taken away by the Rush in reverse transition.
Cody Jamieson, 2 goals so far. Put him on hat trick watch. Shanks now ran to his offside. Feed scored a beauty earlier. Run out by Smith. 2 to shoot, and they score. It's Ryan Benesh. Goes low on Eric Penny, and we got a tie ball game.
We talked pregame about Ryan Benesh and all his milestones, even at his advanced age, if you will. He's still getting it done. He uses Smith as a screen here almost to perfection. Good ball movement here. He gets it way up top near the restraining line. He finds a spot. Smith turns as though he's going to try to block the shot on him, and he uses Smith as a perfect screen with a white jersey, white stick, white ball. I don't think Penny saw it till late. He drops to his knees in an attempt to stop it, and we're all tied up. You said they always go to overtime, Cody. You're the one who predicted it.
Past 2 meetings in the nest have gone to overtime. We'll see if a third does so. Messenger trips up Tarafanko, no call. Halifax is rolling here in SaskTel Center. Saskatchewan has to find another gear with 8 minutes to play. Stotts over to Jamieson. Pass back for him. Got knocked down, and here goes Garland. Garland's got Beers with him. Holding Garland already has 1 in this game. Pass over to Beers. Low on Hill. Save made, and he's going to throw this one right back the other way. Peterson for Stotts. Short side scores. Halifax has a lead.
Halifax now on a 4-goal run. They needed to come back in this one. This game has huge playoff implications that we've talked about. The Rush are out of the postseason with a loss tonight. Halifax need to keep pace with Georgia. Again, both sides just running. Those long outlet passes from Hill connect again. Quick pass again from Peterson. He goes to the near side of the floor. Stotts going up and over Eric Penny. And for the first time this game, Cody, with just 7:41 left, Halifax has a lead.
Well, they're averaging 4 goals a game in the 4th quarter. And now they're rolling here on Co-op Field, and Withers wins them another face-off.
Shocker.
Shanks, Stotts, he's feeling it. Wants to drive on Boudreau. Good defense, pushes him away. Pass intended for Benesh. Peterson has it, and he scores. Penny came out for the loose ball. Peterson beat him to it, and Halifax is up by 2.
Penny had to be just a step quicker there as that ball was up for grabs, and there wasn't a defender anywhere near. Kyle Rubish was following his man as that ball takes a Halifax bounce out of the stick there of Benesh, and Peterson, great awareness, just runs to the spot. That one, a failed pass. Peterson there. Rubish followed Benesh, as you probably should. He's got 4 this game. Boudreau can't get back, and they have completely flipped the script here in Saskatchewan, have the Halifax Thunderbirds.
Well, Saskatchewan allowed 5 in the 4th quarter against Vancouver a couple of weeks ago here. They've now allowed 6 against Halifax, and there's still 7 minutes to play.
6 of the last 7 goals being that for the guys in those purple jerseys.
Shanks now. He'll run it around the horn. Cody Jamieson awaits. Benesh is with him. Pass back for Stotts. McClellan gets taken out. Over to Benesh, trying to go far side this time. Penny got out. 1 second left on the shot clock as that's going to expire.
And not happy there is Shanks as his helmet had come off. Our officials are going to have a quick chat, but Cody, it's easy to come back when you're essentially given 25 extra possessions compared to the other team. Withers, again, has been absolutely outstanding as he has been all year. 77% coming into this game. I was looking forward to that matchup between him and Mike Messenger, and Withers has just absolutely taken control of this one in a big game for his Thunderbird squad.
So I think they're going to say that they should have reset the shot clock. I understand it, but I also think now you just left a loose ball up for grabs, and Halifax is going to get a free possession here.
Yeah, the right call being made, but it's not one that anybody in SaskTel Center is going to favor, and almost like a free timeout now here for
Oh, they're going to
Halifax.
face off there. Okay, so
that makes
I thought they were
sense,
just giving Halifax possession up in the booth, but now Withers and Messenger face off here just inside the Saskatchewan restraining line. Messenger boots it forward, and Hossack is there to scoop it up. Clark Peterson. A lot of fans in attendance here in Saskatoon. Moving pick got called as Messenger trying to run it through a maze of players. Cody Jamieson's on the back check.
The Rush have to get something going here again. A six of the last 7 goal run for Halifax, including the last 5 in a row. They need one bad before the next TV timeout.
Dinsdale wanted it. He's on the run, trying to flip it inside. Ball got caught, and it's a behind the back that goes wide and falls to Tyson Bell.
Colton Armstrong, another Peterborough native. Great job one-on-one there with Robert Church, forcing him to nothing but a behind-the-back attempt that goes wide.
Pearson slows it down, hands it off to Dawson Thede. That's 4 goals this season coming into this contest. Thede did. He's got another one tonight as Penny tested once again. McClellan got tripped up. And now he's got to throw one from the seat of his pants up to Barnable. Barnable finds Matthews off the bench, and he scores! Had Hill going the wrong way, and Mark Matthews makes it a 1-goal game.
Eric Penny wanted a call there, and that almost seemed to lull the Thunderbirds into a false sense of security as Penny and another Rush player were talking about maybe a missed call there behind the play. Instead, Mark Matthews off the bench with speed, catches his man recognizing that he's there late, that being Withers, and just a great heads-up play. Ryan Barnable, the Whitby product, sees big 42 coming off the bench, and I said the Rush needed a goal, something fierce. They got it there. 1-goal lead for the Thunderbirds. But shocker, again, Cody.
Hey, it popped on the ground, and here goes Ryan Dilks. He's got Jarrett Smith with him. Dilks towards the net. Trying to go low, but he ends up dropping it, looking to get the shot off.
Dilks in a double coverage there. Just didn't really have a great opportunity there to pass or to shoot.
Bell going back the other way, hands it, and he won't stay in play. Jamieson slows it down above the restraining line. Peterson. First Shanks. On the roll, Shanks over to Jamieson. Peterson, inside look. Thede deflects it on goal, and Penny's got to be sharp.
Penny again settling down. He came into this one cold. He since then took over the game, but has allowed 6 here in this 4th quarter. Good to see a couple easy shots for him to hopefully get it going.
Matthews kicks this one back to Robert Church, who then gets tripped up and taken down without the ball, and they're not going to call that. But here goes Shanks back the other way.
Well, I think it was because
Franco slows it down as Church has to peel himself off the turf and grab his helmet.
Church was the first to engage there. I think that's why he didn't get the call.
Stotts goes low, and the T-Birds have a 2-goal lead again.
Confusion behind the play as Robert Church's helmet was knocked off. And big course of booze here at SaskTel Center. as the crowd's getting back into it, as both benches are starting to get the old flyby going by, as Stotts, again, this Halifax team, this is proof of it here. You got guys like Stotts, you got Jamieson, you've got Benesh. Who do you hope to control, especially when all these guys are starting to get it together? Stotts now up to 8 points tonight. He knows the importance of this one for his club, and he's shown up to play. I think it was a gesture towards the crowd is why the crowd went nuts.
It definitely was. 4:10 left to go here in quarter number 4. It's Cody Jansen, John Fraser, Sabina Maud with you this evening. TSN Plus, ESPN Plus, and the Rush Radio Network. Now I think they're going to say Peterson off ball. They'll blow this one down. So we'll head to a TV timeout. Halifax up 13-11. Down the stretch we go in SaskTel Center.
Welcome back, all Halifax in this fourth quarter. The Rush facing elimination directly into its beady eyes. Down 2 here at SaskTel Center, needing a win to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Warren Hills made 15 saves this half. Eric Penny, 27. Dinsdale back to Matthews. Rush on offense. Matthews held up, one arm on his stick. Big save by Hill, but Saskatchewan's going to the power play.
Cut and dry. This is something you and I were talking about pregame, Cody, that Mark Matthews needs to drive towards the net in a foul mood. Even if you're not going to get a scoring chance, you are going to draw penalties off Big 42.
2 minutes holding.
Terefenko going. Again, he just gets his arm up and around Mark Matthews. Matthews had him beat. You're going to get called on that every single time. You get that free hand up around somebody's shoulder, twist them like that, you know for sure you're going to the sin bin. And needing it badly, the Rush on the power play, Cody.
Matthews now quick steps into one, goes wide, and it's going to bounce back to Hill. And back in is called on Hill, so he'll hand this one off to the refs, and Saskatchewan gets a reset on the 30 clock here on the man advantage.
Exactly what they were looking for with that quick Matthews shot. They just get it by way of a foul.
Matthews for Church. Those two will play pass up top, down low. Lintner quick stick, robbed by Hill.
Great
I think
save.
he got that with his right foot.
100% he did, Cody. He went down to the splits. That's where Lintner was looking, was down low, short side, and he got the big old leg there.
Keenan settles things down. It's a lefty strong look. Church inside, pump fake, won't go. Clark Walter behind the net, battling for the loose ball. Lintner there as well. Halifax get to it first.
Graham Hosick. He's one of the best defensemen in the league for a very long time. Showing it there, just completely took Clark Walter out of that play.
Tyson Bell waits up by the Rush logo with Cody Jamieson. Halifax has 2 shorthanded goals this season. Pardon me, 3. We want to count tonight. Probably should do that.
Probably not a bad idea.
2:35 left to go in quarter number 4 as Beer steps up and Bobby Kidd III has the loose ball. 45 seconds left on this Rush power play. Massive moment. Season on the line tonight for Saskatchewan. Matthews waits for Robert Church to step in and help. Ryan Keenan looking for Church, trying to go low on Hill. Save made, and he's got the rebound too.
Great save on the bouncer by Hill. Had his left hand near his knee. Just barely got the fingers of the glove on it, but it's enough to keep it out.
Withers has Rubish on him. One arms it over to Clark Peterson. Rush trying to get the ball on the ground. The triple team comes in, and Benesh is there. Had it for a second, but here goes Ryan Dilks.
Dilks took a chop to his leg on that one too and just had to run right through it. Those on the shin don't feel good.
Matthews back to even strength now. Rush need 2. Matthews loses it. Keenan's got to run back. Halifax is going to run up with it. Armstrong's got a breakaway. Colton Armstrong all alone, and he scores.
Dagger, Cody.
Colton Armstrong's got his 4th of the season, and Halifax leads by 3.
The Peterborough product coming through with a clutch goal here. Right when the Rush had a chance to get their momentum back, a 2-on-0, and Armstrong's going to hold on to it. Pick his spot on Penny. goes down to the far side, and that might be it for the Rush season. We'll get the automatic review here as we are under the 2 minutes, but I would dare say none of his 4 goals, none of his prior 3 goals are any bigger than that, Cody. Just, that might be it for the Rush season. It looks so promising here coming into this one and this great back and forth battle, but it's Halifax striking last. And again, I just go back to the work of Jake Weathers on the dot today. Like, I can't think the last time, I might have been calling a junior game, the last time I saw a guy go 28 out of 29 on the dot. So we are getting the replay. Should be in. It does look like it's in. I don't think there's any issues. Maybe just a second look at that big left foot of Armstrong. This one worth a second look. Just from this rear angle here, it does look like he might be there before the ball is in the net. We're going to get the call from our officials on the floor, but this should stand as a good goal.
After review, the call on the floor is confirmed we have a good goal.
There you go. Halifax up 14-11 on the Saskatchewan Rush. A fourth quarter for the ages as Jimmy Quinlan stunned on the Rush bench.
Kenny on the bench here too as the Rush in full-out desperation mood.
Stotts now at the empty net, and he ices it. 15-11 as the Saskatchewan Rush now 73 seconds away from their second straight season of missing the playoffs.
Stotts a 9-point night, that being his hat trick goal into the empty net as the crowd start to file out here at the SaskTel Center with a $1:13 left. Stotts seals it. 9-point night. You wondered, out of all the Halifax weapons, out of all their big guns, who was going to step up tonight, Cody? I would say it's all of them. Peterson 6 points. Shanks 6 apples. Stotts now up to 9 points, 3 goals, 6 assists. Is that any good? I think it's not too bad.
Halifax sticking a dagger in Saskatchewan in SaskTel Center, up 15-11. Final minute of play. Shanks now. He'll run it over the logo as Pierce trying to push him back and won't get the over and back as Shanks dumps this one down. Bobby Kidd III has it. 40 seconds to go here, and with Colorado's win last night, Saskatchewan needed a win this evening to keep their playoff hopes alive. Walter trying to go low, and it's King of the Hill with another stop for Halifax.
He hasn't had to make a pile of them tonight, but he's made the big ones when it mattered the most, Cody. Really putting the screws to Saskatchewan here. To quote, it's retro night here in Saskatchewan. To quote the famous 90s video game NBA Jam, Hill has been the nail in the coffin for the Saskatchewan Rush.
Well, they'll count it down here on Co-op Field. Halifax picks up their 8th win of the season to keep pace with that tight East race. And Saskatchewan falls to 6-10. Their playoff dreams crushed on home floor.
Coming into this fourth quarter, the way that the Rush were playing, with enthusiasm, with energy, with focus, I didn't think that we'd be staring down a Rush loss, but that fourth quarter, just complete domination by the Halifax Thunderbirds, just complete one-sidedness in that. They turned it on. All of their guys came to play. Hill made some big saves, took advantage of the defensive breakdowns, and you can just see the dejection right now on the faces of those Rush players. They knew what this game meant. They gave them their very best shots, and this wasn't good enough in that fourth quarter.
Up 9-6, heading into the final quarter of play. Halifax put 9 in Saskatchewan's net, outscored the Rush 9-2. Let's check out the Fanatics' turning point here, John.
Now this one being the goal that would never give up the lead again. That coming from the Halifax Thunderbird. First, a giant Hill saved by Warren Hill, and then the outlet pass Peterson, Stotts, and that was ball game. The game-winning goal tonight. One of those plays that, again, you see Warren Hill, I told you about the big saves. He comes up with one, as you see it so often, especially in hockey, comes up with the giant save, turns it down the rest of the way, and ends up scoring a big goal. Is the Halifax fans that are in the building definitely enjoying it. And I believe we have Sabine down on floor level with our game-winning goal man, that being Randy Stotts. Sabine, take it away.
Battle all night tonight. What changed for you guys?
I think just sticking with it. You know, I think we've had a lot of ups and downs this season and throughout that game. And, you know, I think just sticking with it and believing in each other, and it paid off in the end.
Even for you, you scored 2 goals in the 4th quarter. What changed for you?
I don't know. I think I was just gripping my stick a little too tight during the first 3 quarters, and, you know, I was just trying to bear down a little bit. And, you know, we're in the playoffs now, so everything counts.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Sabine and Randy. Halifax wins on the road 15-11, your final score. We're back to wrap things up with the post-game show coming up next. The March to May on TSN is brought to you by Alterna Savings Credit Union. Visit alterna.ca to discover the credit union difference. By NLLstore.ca, a Fanatics experience, officially licensed everything. And by Guaranteed Rates. Now more than ever, you need the best. Halifax tops Saskatchewan 15-11. Inside SaskTel Center tonight. There you go. It's your shots on goal. Warren Hill makes 34 saves. Eric Penny stops 40. Jake Withers, dominance. That's an understatement at the dot. Wins 30 face-offs tonight. Halifax also wins the loose ball battle. Halifax, 9 goals in that 4th quarter. Yes, they were down 9-6 heading into the final frame. They have 9 goals. Saskatchewan only 9 shots on net in that 4th quarter.
That's not the formula for success, especially with Withers, his domination at the dot. To me, that's the key here, Cody. And the Rush, for the 2nd year in a row, going to miss the playoffs.
Randy Stotts, the best player on the floor, 9 points tonight. Matthews had 6 for Saskatchewan. For myself, Cody Jansen, John Fraser, Sabina Vaughn, and the entire production crew this evening. So long, and we'll talk to you in a week in the SaskTel Center.